I don't know how you could be 9 for 40 and still be relatively in the game in the first half. 21 for 76, but really that wasn't the worst of it. We just didn't guard anybody either, one-on-one defense. So, I mean, I don't know how you could. I mean, I wasn't as disturbed with the shooting as I was the defensive end. So that'll kind of sum it up for you.
Coach, for some reason, during the height of the wins, Austin Rotroff was healthy and had a big impact, and you guys are one of the least experienced teams in the country. And ever since he went out, things have just fallen off the cliff, especially on offense.
And defense.
Yeah, and how big, obviously with his experience and them being a senior, being out there, but is this team, besides just not being good enough, as you said before, just too young and inexperienced to really go through the rigors of A-10 play and just conference play in general?
We can't make excuses, Tristan, right? I mean, that was just a poor performance. You know, we could sit there and say, oh, well, they played 3 games in 5 days, or every time they play on a road and get back late, they're no good, which is true. But that's what this game is. You have to play 3 games in 5 days. So, I mean, I'm just disappointed in our fight, really. That's the biggest thing. Like, I can't help them if they don't fight. Now, it's hard to fight when you shoot 9 for 40. In fairness, like, I don't know if I've ever had a team go 9 for 40 in a half. Like, that's hard to do. Especially we had a couple right in front of the rim too. Like,
is it fair to say they're just totally pressing and trying
I mean, they
to?
play pretty good. The remarkable thing for me is you play pretty good at Davidson and you play pretty good at VCU, and we haven't played worth a damn here yet. I don't know whether. I can't put my finger on it. Like, I've never seen a team play worse than that at home. I mean, I've never felt more helpless in my life. I don't know what to do for him. Take one guy out because he doesn't guard. I put another guy out there, he didn't guard, and the next guy doesn't guard. So, or one guy takes a bad shot, the next guy takes a bad shot. So, it's a mental toughness issue, as far as I can see. And another 52-point performance. Like, what are you gonna do?
If you had Fordham in even games against a bigger team like St. Bonaventure, BC, where you were in it, in earlier in the year, Colorado, UC Irvine, this team tends to have a pattern of playing up or down towards its competition throughout the season. Just
Inconsistent, I think, more than. I guess that's up and down. I don't even know if it's a competition. I think they play everybody the same. You know. Now, some nights we shoot a little bit better, and it would have been a better game. But we still don't play good enough defensively to win. You know, and part of it, we're small. I mean, you can't. Well, Kevin Easy isn't trying to miss shots, but you can't get 0 for 12 at his spot and expect to win. And I don't think any of them were bad shots, maybe one. They were all open. I mean, and it's not just that. He could have made shots and we still wouldn't have won. But it's just how it went.
What was the message at halftime when you guys, specifically with the offensive rebound, you guys had 15 offensive boards and only 4 second chance points there?
I mean, that kind of sums it up, right? 15 offensive rebounds and 4 second chance points. That means like it's like a blind man throwing darts, right? I mean, I don't think I've ever seen that in a game, right? 15 offensive rebounds and 4 second chance points. It's almost impossible, right? That's the frustrating part. Is that's hard to correct as a coach. Like, you can correct a lot of things, but that part's hard to correct. And then the psychological impact of missing point blank and missing open shots, that's hard to overcome, especially late in the year like this. You have to have a lot of mental toughness in order to overcome that. which clearly we have trouble with. I mean, you know, you play like your practice habits for the most part. Not always, but we've actually practiced pretty good. We haven't had many practices because we played so much. But we've overall practiced pretty hard for the most part. But we haven't made individual improvement in certain spots, which has hurt us. We had some guys that were playing better earlier in the year than they are right now. I think that's clear. Which is hard for us to overcome with our margin of error in our line. So, it's hard to stomach. Like, it's hard for you to stomach it. It's hard for our fans. I feel bad for our fans. Like, I apologize to them that we're playing as poorly as we are. Like, I'm trying like hell. I just haven't been able to get it out of them yet.
We keep beating the HEMA drum a little bit. Did you like what you saw from him tonight in spurts? He got a chance to play a little bit.
You know, he does some good stuff and he does some young stuff. He's only played 4 years. But one thing about him is it's not from lack of effort. He's an unbelievable person. He's worked hard to get better. He's just not all the way there yet, but you know, put another 10, 15 pounds on him, just get some experience. He's got decent touch. He's just like a baby calf sometimes, right? Their legs kind of go, but he's big now. You know, another year and a half. You don't know. But he's the least our worries.
Arguably, your best defensive lineup could include Hema at the 5 and Trey Williams at the 4. If there are concerns with Easley and Ayers on offense at the 3 spot, could we potentially see more bigger lineups with those two in there, even if the offense isn't going as well, just make it as defensive a game as possible?
It's a great point. You know, we've tried to play some zone, but we really haven't had much practice time. So, like, that's kind of hurt us, too. You know, we need to play some zone. We do, but the other part of that is we're trying to build a long term, and I'm never going to play 40% zone as long as I'm the coach. So, it's a catch-22. We may, you know, at some point, what's the difference whether you win 1 game, 5 games, or 3 games in the league? That's really not what I signed up for, right? Like, 5's crappy, too, for me. So, it's a great point. Like, first off, we're not going to suffer offensively because we stink on offense anyway. Right? I mean, our numbers don't lie. Like, so how can it hurt us offensively other than we may have to run some different things? Right? It should help us defensively, but it's hard to know because Trey's really never guarded out on the floor. And you kind of saw tonight when he got caught on Lindo out there, he didn't contest the 3 ball. So, and then we have no depth up there too. So if you're playing all 3 of them together, then you have nobody to sub at some point, right? Like, it's a good thought though. Like, we can't be any worse. At least you can protect the rim and maybe play like Huggins, just shoot it and go get it. Maybe you make a couple of them around the rim, right? Good thought. You know, you can't shoot the numbers we've shot so far and really win. And then on top of it, you can't be as poor defensively as we are. Like, we just, so obviously you guys know my son's a soccer player, right? And so they chart like things, aerial duels and duels. So what that means is, are you winning your one-on-one competitions? And we're getting beat at the point of attack one-on-one. Like I told him in the locker room, when my dad played here, if you didn't play defense for Duquesne, you weren't playing. And I used to have arguments with my dad when, you know, I'd tell him about the help side defense. He said, help side defense, guard your own damn man, right? And he's right in a way, right? Because if you continually get beat one-on-one, it puts you in harm's way. And that's what happened to us tonight. We got whipped one-on-one consistently. And it puts you in harm's way. And so, until we have enough pride to win our duels, our battles, our individual battles, it'll be hard.
That it? All right, thank you.
I appreciate it.